Thanks to the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine, travel has made a comeback in a big way within the last year. And while new variants are still posing concerns, physical or digital proof of vaccination has still allowed travelers to tentatively and safely resume their once cancelled plans. Although the rate of vaccine availability has varied around the world, some countries are jumpstarting their tourism industries by inviting fully inoculated travelers to visit. Here are the European countries that are open to COVID-19 vaccinated travelers. Travelers who are fully vaccinated are exempt from pre-arrival testing or self-isolation requirements, according to Croatia's Ministry of the Interior. Vaccinated travelers must arrive at least 14 days after receiving their final shot of either a 2-dose vaccine or the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Alternatively, Croatia also welcomes tourists who have not been vaccinated but requires them to either show proof of a negative PCR or rapid antigen COVID-19 test taken within 48 hours of arriving or show proof they have contracted COVID-19 and recovered within the last 6 months. Children under 7 years old with a parent or guardian are exempt. Denmark reopened to vaccinated travelers from specific countries as of June 2021. These vaccinated travelers do not need to take a PCR test for COVID-19 before their arrival, nor will they need to quarantine in Denmark. Denmark will only accept EMA-approved vaccines, which includes Pfizer-BioNTech, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Johnson & Johnson. Children who are not vaccinated but traveling with a parent, and women who are unvaccinated because they are pregnant or breastfeeding, can still visit Denmark but will have to take a COVID-19 test prior to entry. Finland has reopened to all vaccinated travelers and must show proof of vaccination. However, the country will allow unvaccinated visitors from low-risk countries to enter without having to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. France reopened to vaccinated travelers from specific countries in June. And vaccinated travelers do not have to test for COVID-19 before entering the country. Travelers who are unvaccinated must have an essential reason for traveling and have to test negative for COVID-19 before departure and quarantine for 7 days on arrival. All travelers entering France, including French citizens, will be required to fill out a passenger locator form, which can be done on the plane before customs. Germany started welcoming vaccinated travelers as of this summer. Travelers must be able to prove they've completed a European Medicines Agency accepted vaccination course. Alternately, they can show that they've recovered from COVID-19 between 28 days and 6 months ago, or that they've tested negative for COVID-19 within 72 hours of travel. Greece is welcoming fully vaccinated tourists and other foreign visitors with coronavirus antibodies or negative test results. Travelers must bring their vaccination card, or negative PCR test, as well as the QR code provided by the Greek government once visitors fill out a passenger locator form prior to arrival. Vaccinated travelers must have completed their vaccination course at least 2 weeks prior to their arrival in Greece, or tested negative via PCR test no more than 72 hours before arrival. Iceland welcomes fully vaccinated travelers without requiring them to quarantine or undergo mandatory testing, according to the government of Iceland. Alternatively, the country will also welcome travelers who can show proof they were infected with COVID-19 and recovered. Italy is now welcoming vaccinated travelers and no longer requires them to quarantine upon entry. Vaccinated travelers should come to Italy with proof of their vaccination status, as well as a negative PCR test for COVID-19. The Netherlands welcomes fully vaccinated tourists, but requires you to show a negative test result if you are traveling from a safe country or region outside the EU or Schengen onwards. In some cases, a proof of vaccination is sufficient. Spain's borders reopened to vaccinated travelers, no matter their country of origin, this summer. Unvaccinated travelers can visit Spain only if their country has a low enough risk of COVID-19 based on tiers set out by the Spanish government. Unvaccinated travelers will need a negative PCR test taken 72 hours prior to entry. Switzerland is welcoming vaccinated as of summer 2021. Already open to travelers from the Schengen area, the country is now open to Americans and Canadians, too. Those North American travelers who have not yet completed their vaccination course must still show a negative PCR test for COVID-19 taken 72 hours before traveling to Switzerland. Vaccinated travelers do not have to test prior to entry. Thank you for watching. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you will be notified in our upcoming uploads. Until next time, bye.